Single city on the banks of the Tiber rise to dominate three continents. Think about it, Rome faced enemies who were stronger, faster, and sometimes even more technologically advanced. And yet, Rome won. Not by luck, not by brute force. Rome won because it was clever. From political trickery to engineering marvels, from patience on the battlefield to adapting the best ideas of their rivals, the Romans turned intelligence into their ultimate weapon. And today, we're counting down the top 5 ways the Romans outsmarted their enemies. Make sure you stay with me until number 1, because it reveals the true secret behind the empire's thousand-year dominance. At number 5, divide and conquer. Rome didn't always fight enemies head-on. They dismantled alliances before battles even began. In early Italy, the peninsula was crowded with rival tribes. The Samnites were among the fiercest mountain warriors who could have crushed Rome with enough allies. But Rome played a different game. They offered citizenship to some tribes, privileges to others, and slowly cut the Samnites off. When war came, the Samnites fought alone, and Rome crushed them. The same trick worked in Gaul. Julius Caesar rarely faced all the Gallic tribes united. Instead, he played them against one another, supporting one side while secretly planning to conquer them both. When the Gallic leader Vercingetorix finally tried to unite the tribes, it was already too late. Rome had isolated and weakened them for years. Rome understood something brilliant. A united enemy is dangerous. A divided enemy destroys itself. And this wasn't their only genius move. While enemies wasted time plotting alliances, Rome was reshaping the very ground beneath their feet. At number 4, engineering. Roman soldiers didn't just march with swords. They carried shovels, axes, and hammers, tools that turned the battlefield into their playground. Every single night, no matter how exhausted, legionaries built fortified camps with ditches and palisades. Imagine it, tens of thousands of men moving with machine-like precision, constructing a fortress from scratch in just hours. Enemies never caught them unprepared. Then there were the roads, over 250,000 miles of them. These weren't just trade routes, they were military superhighways. Legions could march at incredible speed, appearing in places enemies thought safe. Surprise was a Roman specialty, and the roads made it possible. But Rome's real engineering genius appeared in sieges. At Alesia, Caesar faced a fortified Gallic stronghold. Most generals would attack the walls. Caesar did the opposite. He built 2 sets of walls, one to trap the Gauls inside and another to keep reinforcements out. In a matter of weeks, his soldiers reshaped the entire landscape into a death trap. Rome didn't just fight battles, they built victories. But what if brute force or clever engineering wasn't enough? What if the enemy had a commander so brilliant that Rome couldn't beat him head-on? That's when they turned to one of their boldest tricks. At number 3, the Fabian Strategy. 218 BCE. Hannibal, the Carthaginian genius, marches an army across the Alps. War elephants, battle-hardened veterans, and a commander who had already humiliated Rome on the battlefield. At Trebia, Lake Trasimene, and the infamous slaughter at Cannae, tens of thousands of Romans were cut down. Rome looked doomed. But instead of another reckless battle, one man changed everything. Quintus Fabius Maximus, known as the Delayer. His strategy? Refused to play Hannibal's game. No pitched battles, no grand clashes. Instead, Roman forces shadowed Hannibal's army, burned crops to starve his men, and ambushed his foraging parties. Hannibal, used to decisive battles, was forced into a war of attrition. His elephants died. His men grew weak. His allies deserted him. Hannibal, one of history's greatest generals, found himself stuck in Italy for years, slowly bleeding out because the Romans refused to fight. The Fabian strategy wasn't glamorous, but it was genius. Sometimes the smartest move isn't to fight at all. It's to make your enemy fight the land, the hunger, and time itself. But Rome's cunning didn't stop at patience. They had another trick, stealing ideas and turning them into unstoppable weapons. At number 2, adaptability. Many civilizations clung to tradition, but Rome thrived by borrowing and perfecting the ideas of others. Take the gladius, Rome's iconic short sword. It wasn't Roman at all. It came from Iberian tribes in Spain. Rome saw its effectiveness, adopted it, and turned it into a weapon that defined their infantry for centuries. Or their navy. In the First Punic War, Rome had almost no fleet. But when they captured a Carthaginian warship, they copied it, plank for plank. and within months built an entire fleet. Then came the Roman twist, the Corvus, a massive boarding ramp. Sea battles became land battles at sea, where Roman discipline always prevailed. Even their cavalry tactics evolved. Facing Parthian horse archers or Germanic riders, the Romans recruited auxiliaries, foreign cavalry who brought their own techniques. Rome learned, adapted, and improved with every war. Every defeat made them smarter. Every enemy taught them something new, and in the end, Rome became a mirror of the world it conquered. An empire built on the best ideas, stolen and sharpened. But all of this, the alliances, the engineering, the patience, the adaptability, would have meant nothing without the heart of Rome's power, the most brilliant weapon they ever created. And at number 1, the Roman legion. This wasn't just an army, it was Rome's brain on the battlefield. Most ancient forces relied on rigid formations or chaotic charges. The Greek phalanx was powerful, but if the formation broke, it was finished. Barbarian warbands relied on fury and courage, but without discipline, they collapsed against order. The Roman legion combined the best of both worlds, flexibility and discipline. Divided into cohorts and maniples, legions could shift, bend, and adapt in real time. Need to hold the line? They locked shields into an impenetrable wall. Need to outflank? Cohorts broke off and maneuvered like chess pieces. At Cannae, even after suffering catastrophic losses, Roman units still managed to regroup and fight their way out. Across centuries, this adaptability allowed Rome to face enemies as different as Macedonian phalanxes, Germanic tribes, and Persian horsemen, and win. The legion wasn't just soldiers, it was a living machine, powered by training, discipline, and loyalty to the state. It was the ultimate Roman invention, and it rewrote the rules of war forever. So there you have it, the 5 ways Rome outsmarted its enemies. Divide and conquer, engineering, the Fabian strategy, adaptability, and the unstoppable Roman legion. Rome's greatest weapon wasn't its sword, it wasn't its walls, it was its mind. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Power fades, but cleverness endures. If you enjoyed this countdown through Roman strategy, hit that like button, subscribe for more history deep dives, and tell me in the comments, which Roman tactic do you think was the most brilliant?